Well, g'day and welcome back to the next in our series of Megabuilds for Hobbiton. We've decided that we're going to build a residence for the Carpenter. The Carpenter's actually going to live right underneath the Hunter, and it's going to be a little hobbit house, just the same as the Hunter's one was, but it's going to be right underneath. We've done a little bit of groundwork thus far, but haven't really got an idea of where everything is going to go at this stage. The main goal here was to get access to the central area for a market stall for the Carpenter so he can have a stall. And we're going to do a little bit more work now and try and get a little bit of a better idea of what we're actually going to put together for this. So let's get on to it. Well, g'day and welcome back. We're just checking in on our build on the Carpenter. A couple of things I've actually decided to do with this build. It's gotten a little bit interesting, shall we say, since the first time we had a look at it. What I've ended up doing here is extending this main sort of entry here back, and I've put a little bit of a work area here. I wasn't actually sure what I wanted in place when I began. What I've done here is set up like a permanent flame for the kiln here, and while I was sort of setting all of that up, I decided and gave the whole thing a little bit more thought in terms of the marketplace, which is what I was talking about when I was setting up the Hunter upstairs. I was saying that I would like to have sort of a marketplace down here in the main central area. And in thinking about that, I hadn't sort of really got any concrete thoughts on getting everybody else set up, the Hunter, the farmer, all the rest of it. And what I've done in terms of that, and I guess this is a little bit sort of slightly off topic, but not really, is I've decided that I'm going to put the farmer here. So eventually when we do get around to it, what I'm going to do is on the rock face that's beneath me here, we're going to have a place very similar to what I did with the Hunter, so like a bit of a hobbit cabin. And I've decided, just after looking at this flat area here on top, that this was just perfect. And what I'll do is I'll probably put a path like I have going down from the Hunter's Lodge up the top all the way around here, and I'll make this just a general market with stalls and whatnot. And in sort of thinking about that, I thought, well, hang on a minute, what are we going to do in terms of stalls for everybody else? So what I haven't quite confirmed yet, and I may do so or may not, is was thinking possibly I might do a little stall here for the Hunter, sort of coming down from inside somewhere from the Hunter's Lodge, and just create a little stall here. Not sure yet. But what I'm going to do for the Carpenter is have a big area here. So what I'll do is have on display here everything that the Carpenter makes. So everything from the sort of palm wood beds, the side tables, the banquet tables, everything. I'll have sort of little display areas here for all of it, and this can be a place where anybody from the market can just walk in and he'll have a little stall. And what I did here, and sort of just started messing around with it and only just sort of finished it off just now, is a little window display for him for the stall. So I think that looks pretty cool. And I think that'll be just while the stall's closed at night time. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably put sort of 2 double doors in here, possibly wooden ones, I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm going to make a bit of a theme of palm wood for the Carpenter. So that's why I've gone with some slightly different floor tiles here. So what I've gone with here in terms of the floor tiles and the feature tile is the well block. It's just something that's a little bit different. It's a little bit greener, which can go with the sort of dark green of the stone as well. So I think that'll be just something that's a little bit different. I want to sort of try and go with a different thematic kind of color and feature for each of the builders. And what I really want to do is sort of focus on wood as a feature, and I want a lot of sort of wood detailing around things. And even though this is not wood, I'm going to put a lot of wood detailing and whatnot inside here. And what I've also done since last time is created a little corridor here and an opening to the main area. So what I'll probably do here is set up either a trapdoor or a big double door, and that'll be a divider between the shop area and the carpenter's work area and living area. And I'll still continue on with getting the carpenter's living area and all the rest of it over here all sorted out. I still have it in mind that this will be his bedroom here. I'm still sort of to crystallize how to do that. I may end up cutting out more of this wall, similar to what I did upstairs on the other build. If you haven't actually seen the other build that I've done for the hunter, I'll put a link on the top right hand side of your screen for you. So I may end up sort of chopping that out. And what I started to do, and I'm still not sure whether I want to do it or not, is I investigated whether I might set up a downstairs here for the carpenter as well. I'm not sure what I will put in that area as yet, but as with the build that I did with the hunter previous, I sort of just let it evolve and unfold as I went along. So what I've sort of started on and crystallized on at this stage is the display area here. So what I'll do is I'll build one of each of everything and fit it out all in here. I'm not going to go any further over to the left over here, just in case I decide that I want to do a frontage for the hunter so that she can have a little stall here. Not sure as yet as to whether I actually do that or not. And if I do extend this, what I'll do is I'll put it back further behind here. It'll go a few blocks that way, and we'll just make some more space in towards that area there. I'll put another sort of feature display here as well. That was my other sort of idea at this stage, was to sort of have a little feature display shelf in there as well, just so it's like a little kind of shopping area. And just in terms of entries to the residence, I'll have very similar to what I did with the hunter upstairs, a private entry here, which will be sort of set aside. I was also possibly toying with the idea of leaving some space underneath here, because I still have a lot of build space underneath here, and there's still a lot of beautiful view out there. So what I may possibly do is not build too far down at this stage, so hence not finishing building down in this area here. I might only just sort of build down a little bit, just one area perhaps, one level perhaps, and just have a small room down there which will go out to the boundary, which is where that orange line is there. I may do that and then leave space here underneath for another one of the survivors. Not sure who is yet, but I think the space is sort of, as it's unfolding, it's kind of lending itself towards that, because there can be another sort of private little veranda here, and that could be above a residence which can be underneath me, and that'll have a fantastic view of the mountains over there. But the only problem with that is that won't really sort of be in keeping with having some frontage for the shops here. So I'm still sort of toying with that idea of frontage for the shops. I may not even do it at all, but it was just something I just thought of today. Seeing I've got, you know, one there, I'm going to have two. It's going to be over here in this one, so there's plenty of frontage here that's on the marketplace. 3 for the farmer, there'll be plenty of frontage here, so that'll be directly adjoining that. There's a possibility maybe that I could go underneath here for one of the others. Still may think of that. I still haven't sort of worked it out. It could even be either side of that tree that it comes out. Don't know. That could be 4. But I'll have to sort of work it out as I go along. Alright, well that's the general sort of update on what I've done thus far on the Carpenter's build. I think it's coming along just fine at the moment. There's going to be a heck of a lot more work to do, just groundwork and setting up this main shopping area here. So what I'll do now is I'll go away and set all this up, and next time we catch up I'll have all this finished and you can check that out. And I may have even done a little bit more work on his residence and a little library for him and whatnot as well. Alright, well that's it for us this episode. We'll see you next time.